Hey, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh. Double all praises unto Yahweh, Shimi Yahweh. Double honors to the apostles of GreatMillStone. Honor to your brothers that be pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. So I got this article right here, and this is I like this article because it shows the trajectory that the empire that you know as Babylon, that we know as Babylon through the scriptures, okay, which is the conglomerate of nations, starting first and foremost with the United States and on down to Britain and what you know as the Western world. Well, the trajectory that these countries are taking now is a downward spiral. Matter of fact, there's an economic term called circling the drain, and also too it's a medical term wherewith it describes the last stages of someone's existence. And when you look at the economy, when you look at morality, when you look at spirituality, all of these different necessary facets of life, then you can come to the conclusion that the Western world and the subsequent Eastern world, which follows behind the Western world, okay, is in a downward spiral. And this article here goes into it. But let's not forget, this is all by and by prophecy for which it was been told how that this the economy, the morality, the spirituality of this place was gonna be in a downward spiral before the end of days. Okay, so this article is here, and I'm gonna be quoting certain scriptures, and I might get into certain scriptures if the Spirit pulls me that way. But nevertheless, I'm gonna get into this, showing you the age of decadence. Okay, the age of faithlessness is almost finished. The age of wickedness, this age is almost finished. And you're beginning to see everybody realize that how it's getting worse and worse and worse to the point where there's going to have to be a breaking point, whether it be spirituality. You go to where they legislate, they're allowing you to do all types of wickedness by way of legislation. And that's why the scripture says, woe unto them that's one of the reasons why the scripture says, okay, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. Okay. And also too, you go to where they're allowing all types of illicit sexual activities to be going on out there. And the scripture says within the book of Amos, the 9th chapter, on the 8th verse, how the eyes of the Lord power is upon the sinful kingdom, and he was going to destroy it from off the face thereof. Okay, but it also says how that the Israelites, the elect of the Israelites, is going to be saved from out of that wickedness. Okay, and this is what the purposes of these videos are. That's why we're so diligent, because we're seeking out for men that be of a like mind, that be sighing and crying for all the abominations that we done in the midst thereof. And this is one of the articles that goes into some of the stuff or some of the results of all of this abomination, whether it be economic abomination, spiritual abomination. Well, you're seeing it to where, it's pretty much like, damn, this is really bad, man. So it says, Apocalypse Now, 2017 was another terrible, horrible, no good, and very bad year. And you could be pretty damn sure that this year is going to be worse than the one before it. Okay, like I said, we're in what's known as circling the drain, spiritually, economically. Okay, all types of facets of life are in a position of circling the drain right now, and we're reaching the breaking point faster, okay, than you realize. Okay, we're reaching the breaking point faster than you realize, to the end that the Lord's going to return. And he's going to put everything back in its rightful order. Doth not the scripture say, your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay? Well, when the Most High comes back, where he sends his son to come back, he's gonna put everything back in order. One of those things that he's gonna put back in order is having it to where you got the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and the Israelites scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. They're gonna be on the highest state of esteem within the kingdom of heaven. That's why it's known as the kingdom of heaven, because it's going to be a kingdom, okay, a domicile of the kings, okay, but with the Israelites being on top, and it was good news to them because they was and up until this day, even unto this day, we are in a really, really low state, okay? And if we was ruling in righteousness, okay, as we're gonna be ruling in righteousness, none of these examples I'm gonna show you right here of circling the drain would be present. And I'll explain why as we go through it. So it says, so what they do is they break these things down into different facets. I'm gonna read out of, the subsection header, and then speak on it. Okay, so it says 9-1 calls turned deadly. Okay, oh no, let's start from the top. So it says the new boss proved to be the same as the old boss. What we in true form, the new boss Donald Trump proved to be no better than his predecessor. And when you really check it out, he was worse, and he gave you like terrible promises, man. Okay, this dude gave you some terrible promises. He told you that he was going to return the economy to be his, some badass economy. It was going to be good. Everybody's going to be chilling. It was going to have money. Okay, but unless you're creating manufacturing jobs for the middle class, okay, as any good economist would tell you, any good analyst would tell you, you ain't going to be creating new jobs. Okay, matter of fact, when you check out the game plan of these banking elites, you find out that the end all be all is to have it to where this decadence leads to the economic crash of the world, man. Okay, so you ain't gonna have it to where they're gonna be looking to empower the people. They're looking to crash the people and acquire all the wealth and resources to themselves, and as a result, you're gonna have to go to them for wealth and resource, which is gonna be the chip. Okay, so the old boss proved to be the same. The new boss proved to be the same as the old boss because they're working really for the same company, man, which is the New World Order, or these so-called Jews, okay, these elite. Okay, so that's point number one. It says the next subsection. It says 9-1 calls, okay, turned deadly. It says don't call the cops because yet another don't to add growing off the list that they could get you or your loved one tasered up. Okay, and really for the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, that's been like terrible, and that keeps on going up because there's more and more you're seeing militarized police. Every time you have a so-called false flag attack, you're having it to where the military becomes more and more more and more militarized, and as you're seeing it become more and more militarized, you're gonna see a lot more people getting the wacko zapper, man. Okay, because that's what they really want, total control. Okay, but with having total control, you're gonna have a judge, an executioner, okay, as the police force, man. It's gonna become deadlier and deadlier, and we've seen that in movies like Equilibrium. Okay, no kind of different movies that they put it in that as an example. Okay, to say, look, this is the game plan. Okay, this is what we're working towards. So they're showing you to. Okay, we know Esau's got this thing of self-prophesying, all right, and putting his plans in his movies. Okay, that's why we watch these damn things. Okay, because the plans be in there, man. And one of those plans is to have a militarized police force that's gonna have where you got dudes. It's gonna have machine guns. Where do you think you got it right across the whole country right now? Wherever you have a so-called holiday, when people are traveling and all of that. Now you're seeing police force with military police force, okay, so-called security and stuff. Why do you think that is, man? Okay, because they're taking away your civil liberties, and this thing of 911 calls turning deadly, that's only going to get ramped up because they're going to be the judge, the executioner, okay, for whatever the situation they're going to be in, man. That's the end all be all go, okay, to relieve you of your civil liberties. That's one of the goals that they have. That's what the whole New World Order is all about. That's why you got this gun control thing going out there within the United States, man. But see, we know through the scriptures that they're going to try to do this so-called New World Order, and they're going to fail in it because guess what? The Lord's setting up his New World Order. But notwithstanding, as we lead on towards that, there's going to be a few deaths as a result of your civil liberties being eroded, okay? Let me actually turn away from this high noise level. I'm going to go to another direction. I'm out here in walking about, by the way. So next one, it says traffic stops took a turn for worse. I'm not going to go into that. Courts failed to uphold justice. I'll go into that because that goes into you know, whatever way you want to look at it. You want to look at it with reference to the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. Well, the justice they uphold first and foremost is it ain't scriptural justice. So whatever they're upholding, it ain't based on the scriptures. It ain't based on the Bible. So therefore, it was going to be it's no justice. That's number one. Okay. Now we know these Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. The curses said that you was going to be subject to payments. So you go up into these courts, you're going to find yourself out of pocket, man. Okay. You're going to find yourself out of pocket. Okay. In that they're going to fine you for speeding. Okay. They're going to fine you for not paying a bill. Okay, they're going to put all kind of grievous burdens upon you in this court, in this so-called justice system, which is really an unjust system. Okay, now another facet way, or another way to look at that justice is to look at what the scripture says as pertaining to marriages. You go to where you got all kind of divorces happening out here. I think it's about a 70% rate, which if you're going into a business contract that's going to cost you, you know, 50 grand to set up, and you're going to share your assets with another partner, which your assets might amount to maybe 200,000 pounds or dollars or whatever. Why would you go into that contract if that contract has got a 70% chance of falling apart? That's ridiculous. Let's put it another way. Would you go bungee jumping if the parachute only, would you go skydiving if the parachute only had a 25% chance of opening it? You wouldn't do that. Okay, but you got these people going out here, these idiots going out here getting married for something as fickle as emotions, okay, and then messing their whole life up. But the injustice system, that benefits who? That benefits your counterpart, you know, your wife, you know, your woman, okay, and then she goes off out there with, and usually it's them that initiate it, and then they take your assets. Okay, so that's another way, but that's growing even more and more. These divorces are going up out there crazy. Okay, so let's carry on here. It says like I said, I'll just speak on some of these. I don't want to make this too lengthy. Okay, it says a culture of compliance paved the way for sexual predators, and this goes back to this place being Rome. All right, goes back to this place being Rome. When you read the scriptures, it tells you about how the beast, which was and is not yet shall come, which was the Roman Empire, how they existed for a period of time. They went into a period of what's known as perdition. Okay, so they was in a position where they wasn't really in the earth ruling, and then they came back and ruled underneath the guise of the European, okay, and the Americans, Spanish, Portuguese, etc., etc. These guys, when you check out Rome, these were sexual deviants, man. They used to have sex with little boys. They used to have sex with animals, okay? And that's what you're seeing a resurgence of, because this is the people, and it's disgusting. It's disgusting, okay? This is why you're seeing a resurgence of these things within the earth, because it is the same people coming back to rule over again, okay? And they're pushing forth an agenda that is similar, and they want to legalize these different things. But see, the Most High is going to judge them for all that wickedness that they be doing, man. That's why you read the scriptures. It talks about such a great, heavy judgment coming upon this place. Okay, so let's carry on. Some of these things I ain't really too fussed about. Okay, but you can see some of the points that I've touched. Man, it's prevalent to the scriptures, man. It's important to the scriptures. And really, you could take all of these subsections and make a mini videos. You can make a mini series out of this. So, which you brothers, you want to do that, you could do that, man. Okay. Civil discourse was drowned out by intolerance, violence, and militarized police. We spoke about that. Okay. The cost of endless wars drove the nation deeper into debt. Okay. And that goes into the chip coming. That goes into the fact that America is the country that cannot have enough, and that's spoken about within the book of Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. Okay, when you read the book of Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, it goes to tell you that Esau, okay, his soul was not upright just in him, and he cannot be satisfied with nothing. Okay, so when he goes out there and he conquers Iraq, he cannot be satisfied with that. He's got to take Iran, and so on and so forth. So that's driving your economy deeper and deeper into debt. But that's all prophesied within the scriptures, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. Okay, so it says government agencies padded their pockets at the expense of the taxpayer, and they're going to keep on doing that. because that's how they transfer wealth, and that's how they that's how they centralize certain things. So you've got certain contractors getting big paychecks when government spending comes into effect. Those paychecks, they're gonna get fatter and fatter and fatter, and when the economy crashes, guess who's gonna be buying up with your tax dollars? Who's gonna be buying up your land? It's gonna be those same people, man. Okay, and you're gonna have to go back to them and say, look, I gotta get this chip off of you, okay? Because I have no way of eating. Okay, so let's just finish up here. The plight of the nation's homeless worsen. That's because there's no middle class. Therefore, with no middle class, there's no jobs. Okay, no jobs, no money. And because there's no money, that means even less jobs. This is the cycle of deprivation. Okay, you could do an economic study on that. Okay, I might do a video in the future on what's known as the cycle of deprivation. Because the less money you have is the less money you have is the less money you have is the less money you have. It's a cycle. Okay, so it says free speech was dealt one knockout punch after another. Okay, that goes into the erosion of your civil liberties. It says police became even more militarized and weaponized. And you're seeing that. Okay, so I mean, pretty much, you go into this, you take all kind of subsections out of that and make your own video on that, and it'll be a good video too, because all of these things go to show you what the top says. Apocalypse Now 2017 was another terrible, horrible, no good, very bad year. And like I said, because the scripture says it, okay, it's only gonna get worse, man. It's only gonna get worse, okay? Because that is the agenda. All right. So with that, I'm gonna say, Brakthaya Yabashimi outside. Okay. All praise unto Yabashimi outside. Double honors the apostles of GreatMillStone. All right. And honors your brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. And I'll see you on the next one. Shalom.